All right. Ready to level up that sales game.
Let's do it.
You know how crucial strong client relationships are, right? Like they're the foundation of everything.
Absolutely.
Well, we found this killer YouTube video by a sales pro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's packed with tips on building partnerships that actually last.
I love that idea, moving past just quick transactions.
Right. This expert really emphasizes that shift towards genuine partnerships. Like, it's a total game changer.
That makes sense.
So, the big secret weapon, it's something called an account development plan.
ADP.
Yeah, ADP. But hold on, before you tune out thinking it's just another boring acronym, think of it like a roadmap to success.
Okay, a roadmap. I like that.
Yeah, it's your guide to navigate those key client relationships.
So not just like plotting the route, but really understanding the journey.
You got it.
Yeah.
It's all about that long-term relationship building that benefits everybody.
Right, building something together.
And get this, the expert drops this stat that blew my mind. Increasing customer retention by just 5%. 5% can boost profits by, wait for it, up to 95%.
Whoa, that's huge. Why is that, though?
Well, think about it. Getting new customers, it's expensive, right?
Yeah.
Marketing, onboarding, the whole shebang.
Yeah, it all adds up.
But when you nurture those existing clients, you're building on something solid.
They already know you.
Exactly. They trust you, get your value, and they're probably going to spend more over time.
It's like they say, a bird in the hand.
Is worth two in the bush. You already got that bird. Keep it happy. Keep it around.
Exactly. And that's where the ADP comes in.
It's not just about closing the deal. It's about becoming a trusted advisor, someone they can rely on long term.
Makes you more like a partner.
And the best part, an ADP, it's not just for big corporations. This expert says any business can use one.
Really. Any size.
Seriously, big or small, they all benefit. Let's break it down. First up, customer retention.
That 5% to 95% thing.
Bingo. With a good ADP, you're not just reacting to problems when they pop up.
You're ahead of the game.
Totally. You're spotting those potential issues and working with your client to solve them before they even become problems.
With true partnership, both invested in success.
You're getting it. It's like being on the same team, working towards that shared goal. Second reason you need an ADP, growth opportunities.
Interesting.
You already got that strong relationship, right? You understand their needs, their business. The ADP helps you find ways to grow that relationship.
Like upselling or cross-selling.
You got it. Maybe they'd benefit from other products you offer, or you tweak existing offerings to fit their needs even better.
You're not just pushing something new, you're deepening the partnership by adding value.
Love that. And the third reason, this one's all about relationships. Like, it's the heart of the ADP philosophy.
Get away from the cold calls.
Ditch them. It's not about closing deals. It's about turning those transactions into real collaborations.
Less. Buy my product. More. Let's work together to crush your goals.
Boom. That's the mindset. And when you approach clients like that, you build trust and loyalty that lasts way longer than any single sale.
Makes sense.
Okay, so we're on board with the why. Now let's get practical. What does a killer ADP actually look like? What are the essentials?
Well, the expert laid out a really clear structure in the video. It starts with an account overview.
Account overview.
Yeah, you gather all the intel. Who are they? What do they do? What are their pain points, their goals, your history together?
Like building a client profile.
Exactly. Get a deep understanding of their world.
So step one is all about listening and learning, really getting into their head and understanding their specific needs. Then what?
Then you dive into their objectives and challenges. This goes deeper than just knowing their business goals.
Deeper. How so?
You got to uncover their motivations, their aspirations, what keeps them up at night, what are they trying to achieve, short-term and long-term.
Active listening skills are key here.
Big time. You're not just gathering info, you're building rapport, showing them you're genuinely invested in their success.
Showing you care.
Right. And once you truly understand their world, you can start formulating your strategic goals for the account.
This is where it gets exciting. What are you aiming for with this client?
Lots of possibilities. Revenue growth, expanding into new departments, maybe helping them launch a new product or break into a new market.
Ambitious, but attainable.
Exactly. Aligned with both your capabilities and their needs.
And specific, measurable. Gotta track that progress. But before you jump into action, you need a rock-solid value proposition, right?
Absolutely. This is where you spell out how your product or service directly helps them.
Show them how you solve their problems.
Right. You're answering that question. Why should they choose you?
You got to stand out from the competition.
And do it in a way that resonates with their specific needs and goals. Don't just list features and benefits. Tell a story that connects with their aspirations and shows how you can help them achieve their vision.
I love that story. Okay, so we have goals, a value proposition. Now, how do we make it happen? That's the action plan, right?
You got it. The action plan is where the rubber meets the road. You translate those goals into tangible steps.
Specific actions, timelines, resources, who's doing what?
It's your blueprint for success, breaking those big goals down into manageable steps.
Makes it less overwhelming.
Right. And it needs to be flexible, able to adapt to changes in the market or the client's needs. But remember, it's about partnership. So the expert emphasizes a stakeholder engagement plan.
Okay, what's that all about?
You map out how you'll communicate with all the key people on their side.
Decision makers.
Yeah. Clear communication, regular check-ins, progress updates, even workshops or brainstorms to keep everyone on the same page.
Communication is key, especially when you're building trust and collaboration.
No doubt. Speaking of trust, there's another element I like. Risk assessment.
Risk assessment.
Every plan has potential roadblocks. Here, you try to anticipate what could go wrong.
Like what?
Tough competition in their market, internal challenges in their company, potential service issues down the line.
You're thinking ahead.
Exactly. Identify those bumps in the road and come up with ways to handle them.
Having a plan B, maybe even a plan C.
Shows your client you're committed to their success, even when things get tough.
You're prepared. All right, we have the plan, we know the risks, we're ready to go. But how do we track our progress? That's where monitoring and measurement come in, right?
For sure. You can have the best plan in the world, but if you're not tracking progress and making adjustments, you're flying blind.
You gotta stay on course.
Define those key performance indicators. Things like revenue growth, client satisfaction, retention rates, anything relevant to your goals.
Collect that data and use it to make smart decisions.
Exactly. You're constantly learning and refining your approach based on real-world feedback. That's what makes the ADP so powerful. It's not just a document. It's a dynamic process that evolves as your client and the market change.
It's a feedback loop, constantly getting better.
And that's what sets successful partnerships apart, constantly striving to improve and finding new ways to create win-win outcomes.
I love it. Okay, so we've covered the structure of a solid ADP, but how do we take this framework and make it truly exceptional? The expert had some actionable tips that I think are gold.
Yeah, those tips were great. Really highlighted the collaborative nature of the ADP. For example, the first one is about working with a client from the get-go.
Don't just assume you know what they need. Get them involved, get their feedback, their buy-in. Why is that so crucial?
It creates ownership. When they're involved in shaping the plan, they're more invested in its success. Plus, it makes sure the ADP truly aligns with their needs, leading to better outcomes for everyone.
Stronger partnership right from the start. You're saying, hey, we're in this together. What other tips stood out to you?
This one seems obvious, but it's easy to forget. Always focus on long-term value, not just quick wins.
Don't get distracted by the low-hanging fruit.
Right. It's tempting to go for the easy sales, but a truly effective ADP is about building lasting success for both you and your client.
Playing the long game.
Exactly. Building trust and loyalty that pays off down the road. Win-win situations all around.
Love that long-term thinking. What else does this sales guru recommend?
He's all about using technology, especially in today's world. He specifically mentions CRMs.
Customer relationship management tool.
Yeah, like Salesforce or HubSpot. They can be game changers when it comes to building and managing your ADPs.
I've tried CRMs before, but never strategically. How can they help with ADPs?
Imagine having all your client info, communication logs, notes, updates, everything organized in one place. You can track interactions, monitor progress, generate reports, even automate tasks.
So streamlined.
Absolutely. Gives you a clear view of each client relationship.
No more digging through emails and spreadsheets. It's all right there.
Exactly. And a lot of CRMs have features specifically for managing ADPs, like templates, progress trackers, even AI-powered insights to help you spot opportunities and risks.
The future of sales is high-tech. But even with all this cool tech, the expert emphasizes something you can't automate: human connection. He stresses regular check-ins and face-to-face interaction.
Data and analytics are great, but nothing replaces building a genuine human connection with your client.
It's about more than just reviewing progress.
Right. You're nurturing the relationship, understanding their evolving needs, making them feel heard and valued.
Building rapport and trust that goes beyond transactions.
Absolutely.
As we wrap up these actionable tips, I love this last one. Celebrate the wins.
Yes, such a good point.
Take the time to acknowledge those milestones, big or small, together with your client.
Reinforces that partnership and creates a positive vibe.
It's recognizing you're on this journey together. Celebrating those shared successes builds momentum and strengthens the bond.
Totally agree.
Okay, we've covered a lot. We've explored the why, the what, and the how of ADPs, but I'm curious about the so what. How does this translate into real-world results?
Good question. The video touches on something important here. It's not just about the immediate impact on sales. It's about a bigger mindset shift that an ADP can create.
Mindset shift.
It's moving away from that transactional short-term focus, embracing a more holistic, partnership-oriented approach. You see clients not as targets, but as collaborators, partners in success.
It's changing how you view your role as a salesperson.
Right, you become a trusted advisor, a consultant, someone who's truly invested in helping them reach their goals.
And that shift can have ripple effects throughout your entire business. Stronger relationships, loyal customers, better collaboration, and ultimately more sustainable growth.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And here's the thing, I think this goes beyond sales. These principles apply to any field where relationships are important. Freelancers, entrepreneurs, managers, even in your personal life, the core principles of an ADP can be valuable.
I totally agree. Think about it. Active listening, understanding needs, building trust, delivering value, collaborating towards goals. These are universal principles that can improve any relationship.
It's about adapting this framework to your specific situation. Seeing the ADP not as rigid rules, but as flexible principles to guide you in building stronger, more meaningful relationships.
I like that.
It's recognizing that every interaction is a chance to build a connection, to create value, to nurture a partnership. That's powerful no matter what you do.
It is powerful.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to ask our listeners something. Think about your work, your relationships. How can you apply these ADP principles to make those connections better? How can you move beyond transactions and build true partnerships that benefit everyone involved?
That's worth thinking about.
Because whether it's sales or any other part of life, strong relationships are the foundation of success.
They really are.
It's funny, we started talking about sales, but now it feels like we found something bigger.
Yeah, way bigger.
Almost a blueprint for building those meaningful, productive relationships we all want. In any part of life, really.
Absolutely. For me, the biggest takeaway from that YouTube video was the commitment part.
Oh yeah, what did he say?
It was something like, I'm paraphrasing here, an ADP is more than just a document. It's a commitment to partnership.
I love that.
Right.
It's not just ticking boxes. It's about showing up, investing in that relationship, being in it for the long haul.
Totally.
Yeah.
Every interaction, every touch point, it's all a chance to strengthen that bond, create value for both sides.
It's not just what you do, it's how you do it, you know? Bringing that intention, that partnership mindset to everything.
I think that's so key. We can choose how we approach our relationships.
We have a choice.
Yeah. Do we want transactions or do we want genuine partnerships?
And when we choose partnership, when we commit to that, it unlocks so much potential for us and for everyone we connect with.
Totally. So as we wrap up this deep dive, think about this. How can you bring that commitment to partnership into your own life?
How can you become that trusted advisor, that collaborator, that true partner to the people around you? Because in the end, it's those strong relationships that make our lives richer and help us succeed, both personally and professionally.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.
It's like we've uncovered this secret formula for success. Not just in sales, but in life, you know?
It really is. It boils down to those core principles.
The ADP principles, yeah.
Right. Like, think about how much stronger our communities would be if everyone applied these ideas.
I know, right? Imagine that world.
It's about building those genuine connections, fostering trust, working together.
It's powerful stuff. And honestly, it's not that complicated.
It's really not. It's more about a shift in perspective, I think.
Definitely a mindset shift.
Yeah.
From me to we.
Exactly. Focusing on shared success.
That's the key. And the beauty of it is anyone can do this. It's not just for salespeople or businesses.
It's for everyone, yeah.
Parents, teachers, friends, colleagues, everyone.
It's about building those relationships that lift us all up.
I love that. And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
I agree.
But before we go, one last thought for our listener.
Okay, what's that? Take these ADP principles. Apply them to your own life. See what happens.
I think you'll be amazed by the results.
I know I have.
Me too.
All right, folks. That's it for this deep dive. Go out there and build some amazing partnerships.
And have fun doing it.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch